Hey folks, welcome to 5 to 15 with Musickers. Today I'm with a true polymath, a Renaissance man, wears a lot of different hats in the music world. Neil Lackey is a resident of Asheville, teaches at multiple institutions as a music educator, and is also a sound engineer and fantastic percussionist. Today we're going to talk to Neil about his experience as a percussion teacher at multiple institutions. Welcome, Neil. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So I guess the big thing I'm curious to know about is what are some of the things that people wouldn't expect that you've experienced working as a percussion director in various settings, particularly at high schools and middle schools?
Well, one of the things, that I didn't expect going into it, I thought that it would be 100% percussion skills, right? But a lot of it, in fact, I would say most of it is just being a teacher and being an instructor and learning how to talk to your students and reach them and differentiate your learning or differentiate your teaching styles to fit different learners.
Absolutely. What are some of the different things that you've had to do over the years as a percussion instructor, particularly in terms of teaching styles with students? What are some of the approaches you've taken that you found to be most successful?
Yeah, well, there's just so much variety, Like there's it. Usually, I try to ask the students like, what do you want out of the lessons? Some people just want to be able to jam with their friends. You know what I mean? They don't really care about the music theory and all the like, diving down in those specific details. So I would approach that student way differently than somebody who was trying to learn technical rudiments and all the music theory, how chord progressions work, how different rhythms fit in different ways, and polyrhythms and all that stuff. It'd be a completely different scenario. So
For sure.
yeah.
How much of it is concert percussion versus marching versus drum set versus, say, other areas of percussion?
Yeah, most of my clientele comes from like high schools and middle schools. So most of those students are focused on concert percussion and, of course, in high school, marching percussion. Depending on the school, some high schools are definitely more marching band centered, especially in the fall. But then, of course, at music and arts, it's all drum set. So a little bit of everything. The younger students, a lot of times, it's a mixed bag too, where high schoolers and adults and college students want to work on something more specific.
What have you seen change? Because you've been doing this for a long time. What have you seen change, say, in the last 5 to 10 years, particularly as it relates to COVID or other recent events?
Yeah, yeah. COVID was strange because a lot of what I do is private instruction, one on one, and of course during COVID, a lot of people did not want to do that or they
Yeah,
wanted to do it remote.
yeah.
So there was definitely some challenges there trying to figure out the whole remote lessons and dealing with sound latency and stuff like that was definitely a challenge. But honestly, like I say, it's kind of fun, learning that kind of stuff because it kind of forced me to go down the technology world and that side of music that a lot of people forget about.
Absolutely. So, kind of piggybacking on that, for today's up and coming music educators, particularly those young people who want to become percussion directors in a high school, middle school setting, are there specific things that they may not be getting in their music programs or collegiate music ed programs that you recommend they take the time to learn?
Yeah, honestly, I could almost say like public speaking and classes like that are almost more helpful than like, learning your instrument very well. It's one thing to be proficient in your instrument if you're going to be a performer,
Yep.
but if you're a teacher, it's more about just translating that material as I, kind of said before, being able to talk to different learners and really reach those people individually. Um, and I think as far as up and coming educators go, like practice doing that with people that you're more comfortable with. Practice learning a student rather than focusing on what you're going to say. You know, I think that during lessons, a lot of times, like the instructor wants to talk like 90% of the time. It's got to be a little bit more even. If the learner's going to get you know if the learner's actually going to learn something instead of just listen to you talk.
Absolutely.
So I would say that, and then yeah, get a little tech savvy. Get a little tech savvy because that's the way the world's going, and there's no stopping it.
Absolutely. What are some things when you started teaching that you had as expectations, and have those changed at all between when you started teaching and now?
Yeah, I think kind of going back to like, I thought that I was going to be playing a lot, but you quickly realize that there's not a lot of playing involved. It's more about just breaking things down and making sure everybody's getting all the steps. You'll run into people that are impatient and just want the result right away. I see that a lot with young adults and high schoolers. They just want to sound like the person they heard on YouTube,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
But a lot of times those people, they really do need the step by step, and then hey, here's the material to go home and practice it. Like, I don't want to sit here and listen to you practice. Take
Right.
this stuff home. If you have questions about it, ask me next lesson. Kind of thing. So being able to be patient and span things out and really plan things out from lesson to lesson instead of just cramming information all at once. I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Is there a way we can check out your music or learn more about you?
Um, sure. Yeah, I have. I'm working on a website right now, so that will be live sometime in early 2024, and I'll be back with that, and that'll be a way to just kind of check out some of my music and a way to inquire about lessons as well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Neil, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day, y'all.